Nobody is perfect, yet at the same time, nobody deserves to be the victim of any story. And that's why it's so important to understand forgiveness. Forgiveness is not pardoning any person or event that happened in your life, nor is it trying to eliminate any suffering or consequences that those people may deserve or may need. Forgiveness is not assuming the role of a judge and letting the guilty go free. Forgiveness really has very little to do with anything outside of ourselves. Forgiveness is self-care. Forgiveness is tending to your own needs and healing. The act of forgiveness will free you and of the damage. It will free you of the damage. I want to emphasize that. It will free you of the damage that the darkness brought. And I just want to talk about that a little bit today. I've made some notes just because I want to keep my thoughts clear, because this is huge for me to understand. I've struggled with understanding forgiveness for so many years, and I just always kind of felt like it was like well, you say you're sorry or you forgive someone, and that was supposed to just take care of everything. And it hasn't been that way for me, and it has led me to just dig and dig, trying to find the true meaning of forgiveness. And forgiveness is not a one and done. It is the mindset as you process what you're going through. And every soul has to go through darkness to see the light. If the light is always around us, we don't really realize that we're in the light. We may realize that we're not in darkness, but it takes darkness for us to see the light. It takes the dark things in our life for us to be enlightened. And enlightenment is when you are in the light. You are clarification has come to you. Understanding has come to you. And that's what forgiveness allows. So the act of self-care and tending to yourself when something hard has come into your life is very, very vital, because we all have a superpower. I tell my kids all the time, like, oh, that's your superpower. Oh my goodness, everybody has a superpower. What is your superpower? Find it, search for it. It's in you. And forgiveness blocks us of having a lot of that liberated power, because it holds us trapped, and it holds us confined, and it weighs us down. And so when something hard comes into our life, I think I've mentioned this before, but like visualizing it as a capsule of pain containing light. And when light is given to us in a capsule of pain, you may think how cruel of the giver to do that to us. And if the giver is God, and the true universal divine that loves us and cares for us and wants to tend to our soul being the purest and most powerful form it can be, why would he encapsulate his light that he wants to give us in pain? And pain can also be like darkness. And so if we use the word pain and exchange it with darkness, it kind of takes us back to what I was saying a minute ago, like where if we don't have the darkness, then the light can't shine in. We don't notice it. We don't appreciate it. We don't see it. When I'm in a dark room, I want the light. I'm scared of the dark. I want the light to be on. I want to see where I'm walking. I don't want to trip and fall. I want the light. And so when we're in darkness, we want the light. We're looking for the light. We start searching for the light switch to be flipped on. And then we're just like, oh, the light. We are so grateful for the light. And that's how it works in our life. When a tragic, traumatic thing comes, it's super dark, it's super painful. And if we can just start remembering that it's our capsule of pain, the darkness was our capsule of pain, and in it is the enlightenment we're going to need to become the most liberated and most powerful form of ourself. And that is huge. and embracing forgiveness is the beauty of that process. Because if darkness comes and we choose to get stuck in it, and we don't choose to ask, why did it come? And when we ask, why did it come? We don't need to ask it from a victimization standpoint, like, why did this happen to me? How could this have happened to me? How could they? And we don't need to become accusatory and judgmental and start assessing and parsing the whole situation and defining who's at fault and who's the innocent and who's the guilty. That's placing ourselves in a position that we don't own. We don't have the bandwidth or the ability to handle all of that role. And so we're best off not being the judge of the situation. And so when we ask ourselves, why did this come into my life? It's not to be victim. It's not to dissect it for the cause of, or for the sake of defining who needs to do what. It is because we need to ask that for our enlightenment. Why did this come into my life? What do I need to know? And when we stay there and we start looking for the good, for the light in the dark thing, it will come. When we ask from the divine, from God, we will receive. If we are listening and we are searching and we are wanting, it will be shown to us. Just as much as darkness comes through people and events and circumstances in our life, so does the light. People will come into your path that will give you the answers you're searching for. People will come into your path that will help you to define what's going on inside your heart. People or events, new events will come because of the darkness that will liberate you, and it will expose the light into your life. You will be enlightened. And when you become enlightened and you learn who you truly are, that's where the power comes. You become empowered. The power is within you. It's just hidden with all the layers of unforgiveness, of all the stuckness and the trapped things that we just haven't known what to do with. The layers of unforgiveness from our childhood all the way up to our present moment are the things that keep us, our eyes covered, and keep us in the dark. But when we allow the light to shine into the darkness, and we ask, why did this come? And we look and we ask, believing that we will be seeing the light through this circumstance, the light will come. And when the light comes, we will see, and we will become super grateful for the dark thing that came. And that doesn't seem believable at times, especially when the darkness is there and it's so heavy and it's so big. But when we choose to take on the positive energies that are given to us, the courage, the tenacity sometimes that it takes to just be like, hey, it happened, it's here, and get focused on the self-care. I'm going to find out why it came to me, and I am going to be liberated by it. And when we choose that, the capsule of pain cracks open, and the light that's within it pours itself out, and it shows us our power. It shows us who we are. And when we know who we are, we become unstoppable, and our superpower becomes very evident, and we're able to move forward and liberate ourselves and often the people around us. And it's the most beautiful thing we could ever do.